Imagine humiliating someone in front of your entire school, only to realize the next day that they were the most important person there. Ryan thought being popular made him untouchable. At Westbridge High, everyone knew him. He was the captain of the basketball team, rich, confident, and honestly, a little arrogant. And then there was Mr. Lewis, the school janitor. Every morning, Mr. Lewis quietly cleaned the hallways before students arrived. He always smiled politely, always stayed humble, and most students barely noticed him. But Ryan noticed him. Not because he respected him, because he thought making fun of him was entertaining. One afternoon, Ryan and his friends were sitting near the gym laughing loudly after practice. Mr. Lewis walked by carrying a mop bucket. As he cleaned near their table, Ryan smirked. "Careful, guys," he joked loudly. "The floor might finally be cleaner than his clothes." His friends burst out laughing. Mr. Lewis paused for a second, then continued working silently. That should have been enough, but Ryan kept going. "You know," he said, leaning back in his chair, "I'd rather fail school than end up pushing a mop around all day." More laughter. Some students nearby looked uncomfortable, but nobody said anything. Lewis slowly looked at Ryan, and instead of anger, he simply smiled. Then he said something calm that Ryan would never forget. "Never disrespect honest work, son. Life changes faster than you think." Ryan rolled his eyes. "Yeah, sure." The next morning, the school buzzed with excitement. Students whispered all through the hallways, "Did you hear? We're getting a new principal today." Ryan barely cared. He was too busy showing off in front of his friends. Then the announcement came over the speakers. "All students, please report to the auditorium." The entire school gathered inside. Teachers stood unusually straight. Everyone looked nervous. Ryan slouched in his seat, bored. Then the vice principal stepped onto the stage. "Today," she announced proudly, "we welcome the new principal of Westbridge High." The curtains behind her slowly opened and Ryan's smirk disappeared instantly. Walking onto the stage, in a clean black suit, was Mr. Lewis. The janitor. The entire auditorium gasped. Ryan froze. "No way." Students stared in disbelief. Mr. Lewis calmly walked to the microphone. "I know many of you recognize me," he said warmly. "For the past year, I chose to work around this school quietly, because I wanted to understand the students and staff. Before officially becoming principal," whispers exploded across the room. Ryan felt his stomach twist. Mr. Lewis continued, "And during that time, I learned something important." His eyes briefly moved toward Ryan. "Character matters more than popularity." Ryan immediately looked down. His face burned with embarrassment. For the first time in his life, he felt small. After the assembly ended, students crowded around the new principal excitedly, but Ryan avoided everyone. Later that afternoon, he sat alone in the empty gym. His mind replayed every cruel thing he'd said. Then he heard footsteps. Mr. Lewis stood in the doorway, or rather, Principal Lewis. Ryan stood up nervously. "Sir, He couldn't even finish the sentence. Principal Lewis walked closer calmly. "You embarrassed me in front of everyone," Ryan whispered, "and I deserved it." But Mr. Lewis shook his head. "No, Ryan, you embarrassed yourself." Those words hit harder than any punishment. Ryan looked down ashamed. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. For a moment there was silence. Then Principal Lewis smiled gently. "The way you treat people who can do nothing for you shows who you really are." Ryan nodded slowly. That day changed him. Over the next few months, students noticed something different. Ryan stopped mocking people, stopped showing off, and one afternoon, students were shocked to see him helping the custodians clean the gym after school. Not because he had to, because he wanted to. And every time he picked up a mop, he remembered the lesson he learned from the man he once laughed at.